Hello, I'm Chris Williams, and I'm back with another review. This time we're reviewing X-tremists, Issue 2. The cover is still good. It's a good cover. But I still dislike it somewhat because I think it looks still a little too much CGI. I don't know if this guy is using 3D models or not. But it just comes off to me that it just doesn't look right. Maybe it's because it looks like they look like CGI. It's good, but I still dislike it. I mean, the pinks and purples with the collection with the yellow and black costumes is all it really has to it. It's rather boring. And we come to who wrote this. Lean Williams, the penciler George Gentry. This time I think George's artwork looks a lot better in this issue, but not much. These guys, I don't know really much about them, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt. Or, well, maybe I shouldn't give them the benefit of the doubt. This is the second issue, and I'm still not very happy about it. And the first issue was the first page is once again, well, it has nothing but a bunch of people telling who it worked on this book. And the real true first page starts with a picture of Betsy Braddock, Psylocke. Here she is telling a young child that he's all right, that he might be hurt, but the pain will soon go away. It's all in his mind. He's being looked over by his caretakers, a couple of apparently nuns, while Iceman is trying to fix his bike. Iceman is still looking at it while she continues to play with the young boy and telling him the pain will go away eventually. It's not bad. The two nuns step closer and take the boy away so they can treat his wounds. And Betsy says it's okay, and they give them the bike so that they can, do something with it. Betsy reminisces about how long it's been since she was actually held like that, how long it took for her to become so big that no one could pick her up. Then Bobby comically picks her up, showing them that she can still be picked up, and he walks her right into their office. Now, this isn't that bad a joke, and the artwork doesn't look that much better from the last issue, but it has, I think, improved a bit. But this joke still, in my opinion, falls flat. Jubilee gives a thumbs up, while Monita just shrugs, and North Star is just reading a newspaper, and like always in these issues. The Blob is having a cup of coffee, and this is all rather boring. This continues on for several more pages before they get a call to go out and set a wildfire so that the X-Men will look good for apparently a press release. That's what I think they're doing. They're setting a fire and moving the animals out of the way so that the X-Men can look good at some sort of a propaganda piece. Jubilee is making fireworks to make a fire cordon to make sure it doesn't go all that far. At least I think they're saying the fire. It looked like they were out there helping, but I think they are just there to make the X-Men look good by giving the X-Men something that they can use for propaganda. And Jubilee makes a cordon so the fire can't spread beyond a certain point, while Iceman makes another with his ice, a wall. Apparently they were there saving the animals, and I only know it because in this one page, shouldn't we have at least made it look like a campfire started? That doesn't matter, Monia. People won't be asking those kinds of questions about the wildfire. They don't really explain it all that well in this comic book, so they did, I think, set the fire so the X-Men could look good. And once again, we're back to them having more pages of them, just more dialogue. Except this time, it turns out Betsy Braddock has noticed that the Blob has had thoughts about her. And she says it's fine, But she even says that she'll erase those thoughts from his mind and make him have disgust for her. But then he barges out of their office. Apparently he didn't like the idea of having his mind messed with. And she doesn't understand why he ran away. She could have helped him, she says. And other X-Men, even though they are all for this no-love thing in their culture, they seem to even look like they know that, well, they don't want someone messing with our heads, which is sort of confusing. Shouldn't they have been with her on altering the Blob's mind? A couple of days pass, and he leaves a note for Betsy Braddock saying, "I don't want to forget. Forgive me." And Monita continues to be angry because she has to deal with the woman named Nizumi, who Monita and the rest of the extremists have kidnapped and are now holding in their basement of their office. She has not seen her boyfriend Luke, and she is worried about her baby, and she berates them for treating a pregnant woman like this, that they are probably not only hurting her, but the unborn child as well. She is extremely angry at the extremists. Jubilee is horrified about this, and she wants to tell the other extremists about this. Monita is more blasé and says that Nuzumi will have to deal with it. Jubilee is still horrified and will tell the others, while Monita says no. Nuzumi just laughs at them, saying that their compassion is nothing but pain and misery. She tells them that they are killing her and her child. Monita calls Nizumi a retrograde, apparently a lower level of mutant that they don't have to respect. Upgrade, retrograde, you're all stupid, Nizumi says. This has nothing to do with mutants, and I bet if they were equal, they wouldn't use such titles. Which, coming out of her mouth, is kind of humorous, because in a few moments you'll see why. All Jubilee can do is take Monita out of there, and then she apologizes to Nizumi, but Nizumi will have nothing of it. She just continues to berate Jubilee because she doesn't help her, that she's holding her and her child hostage. And this is where we come to where I referenced earlier when she says about retrogrades and upgrades, when she says that Jubilee should be helping her because they're both Asian women, even though Nizumi would be a Japanese woman, because Nizumi is a Japanese name and Jubilee is Chinese, and typically Asian races don't usually get along together. So more SJW talk, because people of who are the same ethnicity does not mean they will get along with each other. And we come to the last bit of this issue, where Elizabeth Braddock, Psylocke, is outside the Blob's door. And the artwork here, like in earlier where they were holding Nizumi underground, is a lot better than the last issue. That is a really good face with Elizabeth Braddock. And now why she's looking at the moths, well, they're going to come up to it a bit more. Because the Blob says the moths, they do what their thing, because they go towards bright lights because they're attracted to it, like he's attracted to her. And this is rather boring and blasé, because we all know this isn't going to work. Once this event is over, any kind of relationship the Blob has with Psylocke will just be most likely retconned away by future writers. And this will probably not even last beyond this series. It'll be most likely he'll remember it, and he'll probably hit on her, and they'll get into a massive fight, and he'll be regarded as a bad white male because he was hitting on a beautiful woman like Psylocke, and he just didn't take no for an answer. And the issue ends with as I leave you with a bunch of pages that came earlier in the issue, that this is not a very good comic book. Nothing they did actually did any good. All they did was set a fire for the X-Men to put out. A bunch of people were having relationship problems, and they were treating a pregnant woman like a bad pet. All in all, this is a bad comic book, and I would recommend skipping it and maybe even never reading it at all. If you like this review, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.